Malaysian seaweed extract against the oral carogenic bacteria. Okay, as mentioned by Dr. Nazri, it looks like carcinogenic, but actually the carogenic. How to prevent the caries started. Okay, so this is the research team. So for this presentation, we talk about the research element, the research framework, methodology, and also the result. However, this study is still going on, so we only have the preliminary result. So for your information, dental caries is a destructive disease of the dental hard tissue. In our oral mucosa, they have soft and hard tissue. So for the tooth itself, we call the hard tissue, and the gum and around the teeth is the soft tissue. And then it started with the inflammation of the pulp, which is the inner segment of the teeth, and it will lead to death of vital pulp tissue if there is no prevention or there is no treatment after there has inflammation. So this is the pictures of dental caries, which is cervical caries. Okay, so for your information, the dental caries is the multifactorial disease. There has a lot of factors that causing this disease. Then here is the four key elements. Okay, there is the microorganism in dental plaque, the substrate, the host and test factors, and also time. So all these factors, it must be present at the same time in order to develop the dental caries. So for this dental plaque, the most commonly found microorganism is the Streptococcus mutans, Lactobacillus casei, and also the Actinomyces viscosus. And dental plaque, if I can explain more, is the biofilm. It started with the biofilm. After we brush our teeth, after 30 minutes, it will develop the biofilm on our tooth surface. And then with the presence of the bacteria and the substrate, the food stuck in our on the tooth surface, it will develop the dental plaque. And later on, it will mature and cause the dental cartilage. That one that you have to be scaling. You go to the clinic and you have to be scaled. Okay. And then for the other factors is the substrate, which is the most common culprit for the dental caries to be happen is the sucrose. Okay. The microorganism, it will react with the substrate that deposit on the tooth surface, and it will produce the lactic acid. So this lactic acid, it will cause the erosion to the tooth, and it will cause dental caries. Okay. And then other than these factors, the teeth factors itself increase the potential to get the dental caries. For example, on the tooth itself, there is a fissures. Fissures, it means the anatomy of the tooth itself. So the fissures, it is the plaque retentive area. If the patient came with the deep fissures of the teeth, it will lead to get dental caries. Okay, and the time, the correct time, if the patient didn't brush the teeth before the bedtime, it's easy to get the caries. Okay, so that's all about the dental caries. So for this research, we talk about the seaweed. So as you know, the seaweed is the multicellular plant. It's by the source of fresh water. It doesn't have roots, stem, and leaf, and it's like a thallus. And it's like a thallus, and they have a foot, and it's very fast growing. And there is a big group of the seaweed. However, for the major group, it only have red, brown, and green seaweed. So this is the species that red seaweed about 6,000 species, brown seaweed 2,000 species, and green seaweed is 1,200 species. So according to the previous study by Abdul Rauf, Saidani, and others, the studies already found that the properties of the seaweed. They have antibacterial, antifungal, antiviral, and anti-inflammatory activities. Okay, this is the figures, the sample that we use for this study. So this is the Sargassum polysystem, which is the brown seaweed. This is the Carpophytus striatum, the red seaweed, and this one the Caulopa lentilifera, the green seaweed. So the thallus is like the ranting, the thallus, and there is a fruit. Okay, so we compare with the previous study. The latest study that we have been found from the Faizah et al. The study is like similar to our study. So they want to screen the potential of the seaweed against oral infection also. However, they use only microbe Streptococcus aureus and Streptococcus mutans. Alright. However, in the methods part, they only do the disk diffusion to see whether there is the seaweed have the antibacterial properties or not. However, for this study, for our study, we will dig deeper. We want to know whether there is anti-cariogenic properties, and also which seaweed that give more effect on the anti-cariogenic. Okay. Alright. The most common the common disease in dentistry is actually the caries, dental caries, and also the periodontal disease. So dental caries, as for 2000 in the National Oral Health Survey, the prevalence is very high. It's about 90.3%. It means that 90% of our population still has dental caries, at least one in their mouth. Okay, so the current treatment that we give to the patient, usually the preventive measure before the caries develop, and then if the caries already developed, we do the curative treatment. And right now, we are moving to use the natural product. We want to substitute the chemical one, for example, the mouthwash, that agent for the anti-caries. We want to substitute with the natural product, which is the marine species seaweed. Okay, so why we want to do this research is because there's only few studies that do about the anti-cariogenic properties, and then the bioactive compound for the anti-cariogenic activities is not being fully determined yet. Right, for this research, we talk a little bit about the objectives. So we want to see, we want to determine the anti-cariogenic activities among 3 groups of Malaysian seaweed extract against oral carogenic bacteria, and to investigate the bioactive compound of anti-cariogenic properties. Okay. And apart from that, for the anti-cariogenic activities, we will to see the 3 group of seaweed versus oral carogenic bacteria by using disk diffusion, MIC and MPC, and also the synergistic effect of antibiotics against oral carogenic bacteria. And the third specific objective is to determine which seaweed group that might be responsible for the anti-carogenic activity. For the research framework, we divide into 3 phases. For the first phase is the preparation of seaweed extract, and then the second phase is anti-cariogenic assessment, and the last one to identify and quantify the bioactive compound. Okay. So for the sample collection, the seaweed sample have been collected at the Punak, Sabah. We only choose these 3 seaweed, which is Carpophytus striatum, Sargassum polysystem, and Caulopa lentilifera, which is the most fast growing seaweed, and it's easy to get the sample. Okay, and then after we do the sample collection, we do the sample extraction by using 3 different organic solvents, which is the hexane, the chloromethane, and also the methanol, by using the Sofler apparatus using the successive extraction technique. Okay, so this is the figures for the sample has been washed thoroughly with tap water to remove debris and also wash with distilled water, and then we freeze dry to remove the water content for 5 to 7 days, and we grind to fine powder to be used for extraction. Okay, this is the sample extraction by using three different chemicals to separate the non-polar, semi-polar and also the polar compound of the seaweed. After the sample extraction, we do the bacterial culture of the strep mutans, Actinomyces viscosus, and also the lactobacilli casei. So these three bacteria is the most commonly found in the dental plaque, which is causing dental caries. So after we culture, we do the anti-Cariogenic activity assessment by this diffusion, minimum inhibitory concentration, minimum bactericidal concentration, and also to see the synergistic effect of antibiotic. And after that, we do the identification and the quantification of bioactive compound by using the GCMS. The GCMS is the first part. We do the preliminary study of all bioactive compound, and then after we get the result of which compound that effect of the anti-Cariogenic, then we run the HPLC to quantify which bioactive compound that really matters. Then we do the data analysis. However, for this, at the moment, we still at the identification and classification of the bioactive compound, because this is still preliminary result. We doesn't have the final result yet, so we didn't do the data analysis. Okay, right. So the result that we already have right now, this is the yield of successive chocolate extraction. For the Sargassum polysystem, it shows that the chromatin solvent, it only can extract 0.59% of the seaweed extract. So the highest one for the Sargassum polysystem is the methanol. Methanol can extract 3.8% of the seaweed. Okay. So for the explanation of that table, the highest extraction yield is the methanol extract of Kappa stratum, and the lowest extraction yield is the DCM, that extract the Sargassum polysystem. Okay, so this is the ascending order of extraction yield, and we can conclude that methanol extraction is the most efficient solvent in extracting bioactive compound in all three types of seaweed. This is the result of this diffusion. It shows the zone of inhibition for all seaweed extract against Streptococcus mutans. And from here, we can see here the zone inhibition. But it's not really clear, the zone inhibition. There is still a partial inhibition. Okay, so this is the result from the previous pictures. It shows that the hexane extract, by using the hexane extract, the highest zone inhibition is by the hexane extract, okay, 33 millimeter. Okay, so this is the minimum inhibitory concentration for the lactobacillus casei. So it only shows that the two row, the 2 milligram and 20 milligram, and also the 10 milligram per mil of the extract that can give the clear inhibition of the bacteria. So this is, we already label. The first column is for the hexane extract, the second for the DCM, and the third is for the methanol. Now this is the control. We using the streptomycin. This is for the minimum bactericidal concentration for the LBC. But we are really sorry because the pictures is not really clear. We didn't put the dark paper at the behind, so it's not really, you cannot see clearly. Okay, however, this is the result. It shows that for the all three types of seaweed, with the three types of the extract, it shows that 10 milligram per ml of extract can do the inhibition of the bacteria. And for the NDC, it shows that for the brown, more than 20 milligram per milliliter of the extract can kill the bacteria. And then here is the GCMS analysis. GCMS is the gas chromatography mass spectrometer analysis of the fatty acid compound from the cytosol polysystem. So this is the fatty acid that have been found with the retention time. Okay, so this is the graph of the GCMS. It shows that the palmitic acid, this is the descending order of the fatty acid identified. Okay, so the palmitic acid, it shows that 18% compound in the seaweed, followed by oleic acid and lauric acid, myristic acid, and so on. So according to McGow and Cedar 2004, it shows that the lauric acid, palmitic acid, oleic acid, and myristic acid are known to have potential antibacterial and antifungal agents. Okay.